on the Super Duty 6.4 liter, 2008 to 2010. The issue I'm having is a code for the it's p0703. It's for the brake switch B circuit. Pretty common issue with these trucks. Like I said, I've had 3 of these trucks in the past. This is the second truck I've had where I've had the same issue. And what the issue is this sensor right here. That sensor right there. That goes on the front of the bottom of the master cylinder. This is when you hit the brakes, shuts off your cruise control. It senses pressure through here because you screw it in from the bottom like this. It senses pressure, shuts off your cruise. So it shuts off, let's use the brakes, which is a good idea. So get it from your local parts store. The cheapest place I found it would have been on Amazon. I'm sure some no-name brand. It doesn't really matter. It's 20 bucks. Ford wants 150 bucks for them, and that's just ridiculous. My thought is, what happens is, since they sit upside down like this, like that gets full of old like sediment. If you have old brake fluid that's never been changed, just whatever, right? Can plug it up, wreck whatever sensor's in there. So what we're gonna do is I have a new jug of brake fluid and a jug to put the old stuff in. I'm gonna use a syringe, suck out the old stuff, put it into there. When I get the reservoir empty, I'm gonna fill it with new brake fluid. Yes, that's not a proper flush because I'm not doing the brake lines. Sorry about that, had a call. Don't know where I left off. Anywho's, location of the said sensor is the driver's side of the truck, behind the coolant reservoir. You're gonna take this out, but it's right down there, right on the bottom there. We'll take this out, which is just a quarter screw. Probably do it right here. Pops off. Just kind of fold it out of the way. It's your vacuum actuator for your 4x4. There's the sensor there. You can see it right on the bottom there. So you unplug it, unscrew it, plug it in, unscrew it, sorry, unplug it, grab the new one, screw the new one in, plug it back in. Worry about brake fluid dripping out and emptying this reservoir. You might get a drop or two. You don't have to worry about bleeding the system after. It's honestly, second time doing this, nothing ever comes from it. It's a non-issue as far as fluid evacuating the system. Like I said, do as I say, not as I do. If you're gonna do a proper brake flush, you know, drain all the lines, clean them all out, because this brake fluid's probably from 2008, so it's well past its expiry date. Change out the jug anyway. That's 90% of the system being cleaned out, and then we'll go from there. You can see the old one here, the new one. It's a 22 millimeter. It's a tight fit though for the old one to come off. There's the fluid in it there. So we'll put the new one on, tighten it up, plug it back in, and we'll change the fluid. As you can see, the new switch is in. You can get your hand in there. You pretty much got to go in between here and then be like upside down to spin it. It's doable. There's enough room for a wrench to go in between the two brake lines here. Get a 22 mil in there. You don't super tighten that either. Aluminum casing, so if you go super tight, you're going to strip out your threads and have to buy a whole new master cylinder. Well, at least a bore anyway, if they sell that separate from the actual jug and all, because that's also going to be your power steering. It runs off your power steering, so you have to plug lines and stuff if that ended up being stripped out to get you going again. But yeah, so drain fluid, drain into the extra pail, then I'll put new stuff in, and I know it's not the best, but do as I say, not as I do, and this will still be good enough for me. So this is the system I'm using. It's pretty much a 2-stroke oil syringe. Got a rubber hose inside of it, because inside of this, I'll show you after, but inside of here there's a screen inside the neck that you have to poke through and get a hole in. So you can put a hose through it, suck it out. Look how gross that is. And then dispose of it in any jug you have. I've already got about 4 or 5 of these in. Just go till it's empty. Try not to spill over your paint, because this will eat paint. Brake fluid is super corrosive, so do not get it on anything you don't want destroyed. thing holds a lot of fluid. So make sure you buy enough fluid to begin with. I bought a pretty big jug there, knowing that this reservoir was pretty big. Getting at the bottom here. Okay, we'll call that good. Then fill as needed. Again, try not to spill it. There is a min line, and the min line's pretty low on this, so right now I'm about half a jug in, and I could be done now if I needed to, but I'll put it back to kind of where it was at. Again, a proper would have been to loosen all the lines, pretty much do a brake bleed, clean out all the old stuff of the old lines and the old pads and rotors and whatnot. Sorry, I should say out of the calipers. But for now, this will work. I'll do a proper brake flush, you know, in the near future. Again, I don't drive a lot, so it's not a big deal. It's not a daily for me, so I'll get to it another time. Biggest concern was I have cruise control. That's how I don't speed through, you know, speed zones and whatnot, is by using cruise control. Then I know for sure that I'm not speeding. So this will be huge. This will be a huge win for me. Okay, we're going to, I'll show you that filter here. So inside there, you'll see that screen. You can see I poked a hole in it. The screen moves around and whatnot if you get a screwdriver, but I couldn't get it out. Just poked a hole. I mean, nothing's ever going in there. I'm putting the cap right back on now. I mean, the cap's not the best design, to be honest, but it clicks in. Make sure it clicks when you turn. Wipe up any mess you made. Make it look better than how you found it. That's usually my end goal on this stuff. And there we go. And that's how you change the cruise control switch on the master cylinder and change your fluid out in your reservoir, which is better than not, I guess. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow. You know, I'll be working on this thing quite a bit, so there'll be a bunch more videos coming out on it. I got heater core to replace on it, do the bottom actuator same time. That's the next big project on it anyway. Okay, well guys, have a good one.